Well, 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 the Dragon Commander himself. Come, sit, drink with me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's had a few too many. But you'd take to the right too if you had an imp apparatus for an arm. Never told you how I came by this eyesore, did I? 'Twas during the great and glorious last stand to save the Empire. Horseshit! We fought like lions so that the king, your bloody father, could scarper with what riches he could hold. But my soldiers did their duty. They died where they stood, and I was left for dead. Want of an eye and an arm. Not that any of it mattered. The king's head was shown decorating a stake, like star crowns will the pines come midwinter night. Defeat. Bah! Luckily, a touch of the malt can relieve its bitter taste. You have the respect of Maxos, and that certainly speaks in your favor. But you'll need to come a long way yet to prove unto me you're not just another pampered prince he yanked away from his mother's teat. So what'll you have then? Mead or milk?
What would you inquire of me, Commander? In truth, it has hardly begun. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but therein lies the fun, the satisfaction of conquest. If you wish. He's in a class of his own, there's no doubt about it. A brilliant mind, but in my opinion, a flawed one as well. He styles himself as superior to everyone else, and that would be just fine if he weren't a man. Or a bigot. I have many friends and enemies that are dwarves or elves or imps, and never have I seen evidence the one is inherently more smart or stupid than the other. In Edmund's mind, though, we are all on par with cattle, which is simply infuriating. If you wish. General Henry is the typical man who thinks of himself as an alpha male, whereas he is of course an alpha mongrel. He has the refinement of an inbred orc, and the manners to match, but he is a more than adequate officer once the trumpets herald war. Indeed, if he were a bit less brazen and a bit more calculated in his conduct, he might well come to rival Eerie Edmund. If you wish. She could stand to be a bit more ladylike in her ways, and many consider her resistance to authority counterproductive in a military setting. But she's wily as a wizard, and tough as mithril nails. Don't ask me why, but I have the feeling she's a troubled girl somehow. A girl, yes, hardly a woman as yet. None of my business, of course. She is here, and she's willing to fight for Rivellon. That's all that really matters.
Commander, it is imperative that we should win the war. For our enemies are godless heathens in need of annihilation. To hasten this process, I therefore propose we introduce conscription. For why have young, able-bodied men sit around or do menial tasks when they could be serving in your armies instead?
Commander, even the most peace-loving elf won't deny that in these dark times of war, allowances have to be made which we would otherwise condemn. Conscription, though, goes too far. Let those that wish to fight for our cause do so, but let's not force men away from their families if they feel it is their duty to stand by them.
Conscription may have somewhat of an ill ring to it, Commander, but it might be worth consideration nonetheless. There's not a dwarf that won't take up his axe for the Empire, but elves! A three-fingered man could number their volunteers on one hand. Time to get these weaklings into shape.
I don't think conscription is a very good idea, Commander. Not only should a life of soldiery be an individual's choice rather than an obligation, but by drafting so many young men into the army, you're draining our economical reserves. So please don't forget your political obligations because of your military ones.
Here's an Imp's perspective, Commander. More soldiers equals bigger battles, and bigger battles equals more explosions. Win-win. Granted, it's a bit of a simplistic perspective, but Imps will have their fun, you know.
Bravo, Commander. Nothing like fresh blood to reinvigorate the military. A lot of it will be spilled, yes, but in service of the Seven, that is an honor, not a sacrifice.
Wonderful. I knew you'd be swayed by the arithmetic of detonation.
What a sorry excuse for a general Henry is. Drunk as a dwarf again, going on and on about his lost arm. The more liquor disappears down his throat, the more he can still feel it. Wish he had a phantom tongue instead of a phantom limb. The place would be so much quieter.
In progress. It'll be built in a jiffy. We're out of recruits, Commander.
Yes.
Battle Forge completed. Your unit will roll out momentarily, Commander. Warlock ready.
your order?
Won't that use too much fuel? Exciting. Let's go.
Your unit will roll out momentarily, Commander.
There better be a tavern!
More recruits, Commander. We're out of recruits, Commander. Is that a tree? Well, not anymore. Unit is being manufactured, Commander. Warlock ready.
No mountain can stop us! More kills, more beer!
fie upon Edmund's pride, Commander. The Lizard Lords have granted him the honor of representing our mighty military on a diplomatic mission of utter import, and he gets his knickers in a twist because it comes with a spot of sacrament alien to our ways. I should think it would be good fun to attend an imp ceremony. Something is bound to blow up. Isn't that what the generals normally like?
I must say, I don't envy Edmund, Commander. He's to bow and scrape before an imp of all things. If 'twere any other general, I'd publicly protest. But that conceited tosser deserves to kiss dust once in a while. Remind him he walks the earth just like the rest of us. Well, except you, perhaps.
Imps, Commander. Are they not truly the lowliest of all the races? Were it not for the hint of demon cunning in their blood, we most probably wouldn't speak to them as much as serve them for supper with a series of seasonal stuffings. As it is, however, the Lizard Lords have deemed it fit to strengthen the military cooperation between ourselves and those demoniacal dewdrops. I'd exhale an existential sigh upon the hearing of such folly, yet give it no further thought but for one devilish detail in the treaty. It is I, as our foremost general, who must, quite literally, stoop to inspect their armies. An impish high priest will be present, figures fit for farce that are greeted and received with ridiculous amounts of highly ritualized protocol. As Henry might say, Commander, I'd rather lick marmalade from an orc's behind than bow to an imp. My very reason for currying your draconic benevolence at this hour. Certainly I have your blessing to abstain from these grotesque formalities and tend to business rather than etiquette. Your wish, my command, et sorry cetera. But if there indeed be hoops, the snapping of little necks will be added to the ritual.
Stand in the path of a dragon knight and you'll be obliterated. Once more, this has been spectacularly proven. In truth, it has hardly begun. We have a lot of work. If you wish, she could stand to be...
A toast to triumph, Commander! And another! Don't really know, Commander. I certainly hope so, but we've a long way to go yet. About whom, Commander? Bit stuck up, ain't she? That's what a royal title will do to you. She used to be a proper queen and everything, with an entire country at her beck and call. How the mighty have fallen, eh? Me? I don't care for any of that rot. You got nothing. You got nothing to lose. About whom, Commander? Shifty son of a bitch, isn't he? Acting all high and mighty all the time, calling imps idiots, dwarfs dullards, that sort of thing. Makes you wonder if there's a single thing he's not intolerant of. About whom, Commander? Excellent chap, that one. Likes his jokes dirty and his liquor plenty. 2 peas in a pod, me and him. Well, on and off, that is. Can fight like a demon unleashed as well. Best to have him on our side.
Each night it is written in the stars that the dragon will triumph come the dawn. Well done. Gladly shall I do so.
Commander, I am pleading here today on behalf of a dwarven miner who was cruelly left to his fate by his own kindred. An incident in the mines cost him his leg, and he is too poor to pay for a proper prosthetic one. Henry, your own general, could afford impish machinery, but the dwarves, who easily could as well, will not provide for their stricken fellow. Well, I say they should. Indeed, the state should. We can. So why not do so?
Just like diseases, accidents are simply punishments from the gods. If this misbegotten dwarf lost a leg, he probably took the Seven's names in vain, or forgot to say a prayer before dinner, and they saw it fit to make him attentive of his sin. Paying for his convalescence would be tantamount to forgiving his trespass, which only the gods have the least to do.
Thanks, Commander. Took about 100 imps a hand and a foot to get your jetpack in working order. So paying for a couple of metal fingers and toes is the least you can do in return, wouldn't you say?
Oberon's tale is a shocking one, Commander. If this miner suffered such a dreadful injury while working, then the mining corporation in charge...
If the state should pay for each and every work accident, for every broken nail and broken leg, we'll be paying through the nose. And it's...
The people deserve a kind emperor and a general.
Commander, no doubt you rejoice at my swift return from the land of imps, that borough of blight, that cyst in civilization. Returned have I to more glorious heights. The gods I'd thank if I believed in any. Do forgive me if I appear exceptionally smug today, but I was very flattered, you see, to witness how my reputation precedes me even into the very crevices of the world. The imps had heard of my approach and my modicum of resentment for their rituals. I was therefore pleasantly surprised to be greeted with a cordial handshake no more. Yes, he was rather an agreeable chap, as a matter of fact. The High Priest, I mean. After the military inspection, we played chess and talked philosophy the night through. It goes without saying I won every game and lacerated his logic like an eagle its prey. But he was not as devoid of all intellect as I had expected his entire species to be. A comforting thought, somehow, knowing you trust them to strap explosive engines to your back.
Frightfully boring folk, those lizards, Commander. That general of yours held our High Priest hostage with board games and chatter. Our engineers built a great tower just to blow it up again. A great gift for the envoy of our allies. But did he come and watch? No. Preferred conversation to combustion. What?
Yes, Commander?
Get started. Unit is being manufactured, Commander.
Yes, yes, yes. Warlock ready for action. Warlock here. Warlock ready.
We're out of recruits, Commander.
Warlock ready for action. Warlock awaiting orders. Target acquired.
That's impossible, Commander. That's impossible, Commander.
Going down!
Get me out of here!
Explosives.
My two balloons are bursting.
Listen here, Commander, for I have a matter of great import that I should like to bring to your attention. In the realm I ruled, that rule was absolute, as was that of my vassals, women all, of course. We concerned ourselves with matters of mastery and the mind. Men with all things menial, according to the natural order. On this ship, however, I find myself trapped amid so many cocks of the walk, the one more swollen with self-importance than the next, only to discover these pompous windbags actually earn more wages than Scarlet, Prospera, or I do. If anyone, it is we of the superior sex who should sooner receive more silver and gold than those of the savage variety. You'll set right this iniquity, Commander, and you'll do it now. You'd have me beg, would you? Perhaps you're one of those, petty and puny, in need of power to Forget it, Commander. I won't give you this satisfaction. Run a chauvinist ship if...
Typical of Catherine to get miffed over money. I don't care what they pay me as long as I get to brawl and booze.
When Catherine is out of sorts, there seems to be no escaping her ire, Commander. I do understand her, though, for whilst equality among the civilized races is not to be found, I do uphold that women are every bit as capable as men, provided they are lizards.
You remain true to your... Gladly shall I... Step by my privilege, come. Recruitment citadel completed. Your unit will roll out momentarily, Commander. Your unit will roll out momentarily, Commander.
Warlock here.
Construction in progress.
Bring me the spoils of war!
Magic will prevail. Warlock awaiting orders.
Your unit will soon be ready. Your unit will soon be ready. Anti-ground turret completed.
Warlock ready.
For glory and honor and wealth. Those are enemy armies. Reinforcements requested. Another attack. We will hold our ground.
More kills, more beers!
Unit is being manufactured, Commander. Your unit will soon be ready. Your unit will soon be ready.
Moving out.
Trooper ready to march. Instructed to fight. Trooper ready to march. Trooper awaiting your instructions, Commander.
Commander, the war is displacing a great many people, and thus the influx of a great many foreigners into the realm is inevitable. Many of them are driven to crime by want or ill will. To that effect, I propose that if a foreigner is found guilty of an offense, he or she should be deported immediately. Delinquency is on the rise, and we need a few effective deterrents to curb its proliferation.
Foreign criminals seem to abound like sand on the beach these days, Commander. Let's be rid of them like Falstaff suggests. In fact, the sea would be as good a border as any to make them cross. Yes, let them drown for their misdeeds.
Many criminals inhabit our realm, Commander. Such is the unpleasant reality. Some of them are domestic, some of them are foreign. Punish them when they are caught, but do not make the distinction.
Oberon and I are of the same mind in this matter, Commander. Deportation just seems a bit excessive. And I very much doubt it's the structural solution Sir Silvervein hopes it to be.
No, Commander. Falstaff has it all wrong. We imps force foreign convicts to do all sorts of dirty and dangerous jobs. Why deport when we can make them drudge?
Commander, the war is displacing a great many people, and thus the influx of a great many foreigners into the realm is inevitable. Capital, Commander. Let others provide for this petty riffraff. We'll have none of them no more.